no matter how much I like honey, I like you better. That is, if others are like one jar of honey, you're like 3 jars to me.
Before we really dive into talking specifically about Google's work in the contact tracing space, let's first set up sort of the relationship between public health and tech. You know, I think a lot of people, they hear Google and they think of this big tech company, they think of a search engine, there may be questions about why does Google have a chief health officer? So could you talk a little bit about your work and the work your team does?
Yeah, well, maybe I'm the embodiment of public health and tech coming together. My background is practiced medicine for 20 years. So a part of my work has always been in public health. In fact, my first job putting myself through college was working at the state laboratory in Massachusetts. As the story will go with Joya, we're reconnected again in the Massachusetts theme. And across the journey of the work that I was doing for my patients, to provide them information and the right care and meet them where they were medically, translated into the work that I did when I was the health commissioner in New Orleans and later when I had other roles in public health practice. That really is about thinking of people and community in the context in which they live and how we provide the best information, the best resources, the best services that are culturally and linguistically appropriate, meet them where they are. And when the opportunity arose to join the team at Google, I was really thrilled because one of the things that I have learned across my journey is that having the right information at the right time can make all the difference in the world. It can literally save lives. And billions of people come to Google every day asking for information. And so it is a tremendous opportunity to have that right information and those resources to people so that they can make good choices, so that they can have the right information, so that they can participate in their own health, but also in the context of this historic pandemic, be a part of the broader health of the community, whether it's to flatten the curve or keep the curve flat as we go forward.
And so it sounds like that there is this connection then between public health and then sort of what Google's work is in thinking about public education and sort of providing information. And so could you, I guess, talk a little bit about that link between public health and public education in Google?
Definitely. You know, I mean, the essential public health services include communication and data. And these are two areas where tech in general, but certainly Google has opportunity to partner with the public health system and with the public for their health more broadly. You know, going back to the earlier days of this pandemic, towards the end of January, Google first leaned in to start to put information out to the public about how to find resources in their local community from the CDC or from other authoritative resources. So on the search page, we put up knowledge panels is the way that we describe it. And we did develop an SOS alert, which is something we've done for other crises. And in this particular historic crisis, we wanted to be certain that when people went on to search that there was authoritative information, which is always there, but certainly very prominently displayed, and do that in partnership with public health authorities. So we began our journey really very much in the information way of making certain that people knew how to get the right information at the right time to save lives. I think that the journey for us over the course of the last few months has been to continue to lean in on how we provide information in partnership with public health authorities in local areas, directing people in a certain state to their state's health department, helping people get information about testing. There's also been a suite of resources that we wanted to provide to the healthcare community, whether that was for healthcare providers that may not have access to PPE. For example, we did a partnership with the CDC Foundation though the scale of the company and the opportunity for us to partner with public health around things like helping public health understand if their blunt policies around social distancing to flatten the curve were actually having an impact on behavior in the community. That's our community mobility reports. We were asked by public health agencies all across the world, including some of my colleagues here in the US, could we help them have a better evidence-based way to understand the policies around social distancing or shelter in place? And we've, which I think we'll talk about more later, in addition to that sort of work, also been to support public health in this really essential work they're doing for contact tracing, which is very human resource intensive, very complex, incredibly important to keep the curve flat and prevent future outbreaks, and give time and space for healthcare and, importantly, science to do the work they need to do to create treatments and, very importantly, a vaccine. So that work around providing an additional set of digital tools, exposure notifications for the contact tracing community is one of the other areas where we've been supporting the public health. So, you know, as we've thought about this pandemic, it's support the users, which is the consumer. There's also a healthcare system and scientific community where we've been partnering, and then of course public health. And for me, I mean, Whitney, this is, you know, just a wonderful opportunity for big tech to come together with the public health infrastructure. Public health, as Joy was sort of articulating before, is often an unsung hero. It saves your life every day, but you didn't know it. And it is also a pretty under-resourced part of our health infrastructure globally, but especially in the US. It's something I worked on a lot before I came to Google. And so the opportunity to partner and do everything that we can as a company, and in this case of contact tracing in partnership with Apple, to create a very privacy promoting, useful, helpful product that is going to be a part of the bigger contact tracing is something that we feel really proud of, and look forward to continuing to work with public health. In fact, we're on the phone this morning with a suite of public health groups from across the country, listening again to what would be helpful questions that they have as we think about rolling out the system. This is the way that we've been for the last many months at Google, and I'm just really, I landed at a place just a few months ago. I just started at Google, where we can have an impact on what people know all across the world. And I'll tell you, as a public health professional and as a doctor, that is one of the most critical things. People need to have the right information so they can help navigate their health journey, but also especially in this pandemic, because it's going to save lives.
That's great, thank you. And I guess to talk more about this contact tracing system and the exposure notification app, we've read so much about this. I think, could you describe just a little bit about how the app works? What exactly are users seeing? What information is being collected? Just give us sort of a broad sense of what this app does.
Yeah. Let me just start by explaining what it is, and it's actually not even an app. It's just an API. It's a system that allows a public health agency to create an app that and only the API, this doorway to the phone system, is available to public health. So it's not designed for any other purpose than to support public health and the work that they're doing in COVID-19 in contact tracing. The second piece of this is that we wanted to build a system that was privacy promoting, that really put the user first, gave them the opportunity to opt into the system and opt out whenever they wanted to do that. So they also have some control over how they're engaging and using their phone, basically, as a part of keeping the curve flat around the world. The system was developed in response to requests that we were getting about how could technology, particularly smartphones, be useful in contact tracing. And as we, thought this through and talked to public health experts and academics and privacy experts, it was pretty clear that obviously contact tracing is a complex endeavor that does require human resources, because there's a lot of very particular things that you need to do in having conversations with people as part of contact tracing. On the other hand, there's some opportunity to better inform the contact investigators with things like particularly exposure logs. So one of the things that happens when the contact tracer calls you or visits you is they ask, hey, in the last certain number of days, in the case of COVID, it would be a couple of days before symptoms develop. Can you tell us a story of what you've been involved in doing, and so that we can begin to think through where you might have been to the grocery or to church, or what other activities and with whom you might have been into contact. And there's some amount of recall bias in that for all of us. Like we forget where we might have been. And there's also an amount of anonymous contact. So there are times when we're out in the world on a bus or in a store, and we may have come into prolonged and close contact with someone and wouldn't know who they were. And so the augmentation that the exposure notification system provides is designed to fill in those gaps and to expedite the notification of public health of who has a positive test, because the person would have notified, they trigger something that notifies public health, and then to fill in some of those gaps in the prior exposure. What it does not do is it does not use GPS or location to track people. So the system actually uses something different called Blue Energy, which is privacy preserving. It doesn't drain battery, and it makes it more also interoperable between both Apple and the Android system. So it's more useful not only in the U.S. context, but globally. So we built this system in response to some requests to help augment the contact tracing systems. We wanted to do it in a way that was user controlled and privacy preserving, and had technological features that would allow public health to augment the exposure log in a way that would accelerate the work that they needed to get done to interrupt the transmission, keep the R naught less than 1, and do that in a way that we would also be able to partner with public health to think about risk scoring, which we could talk more about any of these areas that you want. But I think maybe one of the most important things that I want to say, Whitney, is how grateful Apple and Google are. I'll take a moment to speak for my colleagues at Apple, to the great partnership from public health across the world, and to academics and to others who have helped us think through how this can be, how the exposure notification system fits into the broader contact tracing portfolio, and how it does it in a way that really respects and protects privacy, and also is useful to public health. We're still on this journey with them, and but I really believe that we're going to be able to help, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the great work that public health that I do, been doing, frankly. It needs to be able to step up.
That's great. I mean, thank you for that really detailed explanation. And and we actually have Chris here with some questions from our community. So why don't we turn there really quickly?
Yep. Questions pouring in, Karen. Here's one from Vishal Gubuksani. I've pronounced that horribly wrong, but make up your own mind. Vishal, we'll connect later and you can tell me how to say that.
Fabulous last name. I love that. That's a
Given
Scrabble
what we
word,
have today, how should employees think about returning to work with so many conflicting messages?
This has been an important part of my work for the last few months. I joined Google in December, and sort of all this started happening. The pandemic in the world, of course, began in November, but it got sort of very hot in many of the parts of the world in the last few months. And we've been thinking a lot about how to protect Googlers, but also protect the community. I've been talking a lot about what we've done externally. Internally, Google made a decision to go to work from home pretty early. We believed that we could. We believed that in all the places across the world where we have offices, that the more we could not only model, but frankly just be a part of flattening the curve, that we would be good citizens. And we have been fairly, I don't know if the right word is conservative or assertive about it, because we really wanted to make sure that we were doing everything we could just to get people to shelter in place and socially distance. A lot of other companies have been doing the same, and I think the choices that people are making are going to be predicated on a whole array of factors: the rates of local transmission, governmental expectations, the ability to work from home, the individual characteristics of the workers themselves, how much risk they might have, or how much risk it would be for them to bring that back into their household if they have people living in their household who would be at increased risk from morbidity and mortality, from suffering and death from COVID. So these are individual and local considerations. I think for us as a company.
Elon, hey, welcome back to TED. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So, in the next half hour or so, we're going to spend some time exploring your vision for what an exciting future might look like, which I guess makes the first question a little ironic. Why are you boring?
Yeah, I ask myself that frequently. We're trying to dig a hole under LA, and this is to create the beginning of what will hopefully be a 3D network of tunnels to alleviate congestion. So, I mean, right now, I think one of the most soul-destroying things is traffic. It affects people in every part of the world. It takes away so much of your life, and it's horrible. It's particularly horrible in LA. And
I think you've brought with you the first visualization that's been shown of this. Can I show this?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first time, we've just to sort of show what we're talking about. So there are a couple of key things that are important in having a 3D tunnel network. First of all, you have to be able to integrate the entrance and exit of the tunnel seamlessly into the fabric of the city. So by having an elevator, sort of a car skate that's on an elevator, you can integrate the entrance and exits to the tunnel network just by using 2 parking spaces. And then the car gets on a skate. There's no speed limit here, so we're designing this to be able to operate at 200 kilometers an hour, or about 200 kilometers an hour, or about 130 miles per hour. So you should be able to get from, say, Westwood to LAX in 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
So possibly initially done as like on a sort of toll road type basis.
Yeah.
Which I guess alleviates some traffic from the surface streets as well.
So I think, I don't know if people noticed it in the video, but there's no real limit to how many levels of tunnel you can have. So you can go much further deep than you can go up. The deepest mines are much deeper than the tallest buildings are tall. So you can alleviate any arbitrary level of urban congestion with the 3D tunnel network. This is a very important point. So a key rebuttal to the tunnels is that if you add one layer of tunnels, then that will simply alleviate congestion. Will get used up, and then you'll be back where you started, back with congestion. But you can go to any arbitrary number of tunnels, any number of levels.
But people assume traditionally it's incredibly expensive to dig, and that would block this idea.
Yeah. Well, they're right. To give you an example, the LA subway extension, which is, I think it's a 2.5-mile extension that was just completed for $2 billion. So it's roughly $1 billion a mile to do the subway extension in LA. And this is not the highest utility subway in the world. It's quite difficult to dig tunnels normally. I think we need to have at least a 10-fold improvement in the cost per mile of tunneling.
And how could you achieve that?
Because actually, if you just do 2 things, you can get to approximately an order of magnitude improvement, and I think you can go beyond that. So the first thing to do is to cut the tunnel diameter by a factor of 2 or more. So a single road lane tunnel would, according to regulations, has to be 26 feet, maybe 28 feet in diameter to allow for crashes and emergency vehicles and sufficient ventilation for combustion engine cars. But if you shrink that diameter to what we're attempting, which is 12 feet, which is plenty to get an electric skate through, you drop the diameter by a factor of 2 and the cross-sectional area by a factor of 4. So, and the tunneling cost scales with the cross-sectional area. So that's roughly a half order of magnitude improvement right there. Then tunneling machines currently tunnel for half the time, then they stop, and then the rest of the time is putting in reinforcements for the tunnel wall. So if you design the machine instead to do continuous tunneling and reinforcing, that'll give you a factor of 2 improvement combine that, and it's a factor of 8. Also, these machines are far from being at their power or thermal limit. So you can jack up the power to the machine substantially. I think you can get at least a factor of 2, maybe a factor of 4 or 5 improvement on top of that. So I think there's a fairly straightforward series of steps to get somewhere in excess of an order of magnitude improvement in the cost per mile. Our target actually is we've got a pet snail called Gary. This is from Gary the snail from South Park. I mean, sorry, SpongeBob SquarePants. So Gary is capable currently he's capable of going 14 times faster than a tunnel boring machine. Okay.
You want to beat Gary?
We want to beat Gary. Yeah. He's not a patient little fellow, and we want that will be victory. Victory is beating the snail.
But a lot of people imagining, dreaming about future cities, they imagine that actually the solution is sort of flying cars, drones, etc. You go above ground. Why isn't that a better solution? You save all that tunneling cost.
Right. I'm in favor of flying things. Obviously, I do rockets, so I like things that fly. This is not some inherent bias against flying things, but there is a challenge with flying cars in that they'll be quite noisy. The wind force generated will be very high. Let's just say that if something's flying over your head, if there are a whole bunch of flying cars going all over the place, that is not an anxiety-reducing situation. You don't think to yourself, well, I feel better about today. You're thinking like, did they service their hubcap? Or is it going to come off and guillotine me as they're flying past?
And so you've got this vision then, future cities with these rich 3D networks of tunnels underneath. Is there a tie-in here with Hyperloop? Could you apply these tunnels to use for this Hyperloop idea you released a few years ago?
Yeah, so we've been sort of puttering around with the Hyperloop stuff for a while. We built a Hyperloop test track adjacent to SpaceX just for a student competition to encourage innovative ideas in transport. It actually ends up being the biggest vacuum chamber in the world after the Large Hadron Collider by volume. So it's sort of quite fun to do that, but it was kind of a hobby thing. And then we think we might. So we developed a little pusher car to push the student pods, but we're going to try seeing how fast we can make the pusher go if it's not pushing something. So, I mean, like, sort of cautiously optimistic we'll be able to be faster than the world's fastest bullet train, even in a 0.8 mile stretch.
Whoa. Good brakes.
Yeah. I mean, it's either going to smash into tiny pieces or.
But you can picture then a Hyperloop in a tunnel,
yes,
running quite long distances.
Exactly. So, in looking at the tunneling technology, it turns out that in order to make a tunnel, you have to, in order to seal against the water table, you've got to typically design a tunnel wall to be a good to about 5 or 6 atmospheres. So to go to vacuum is only 1 atmosphere, or near vacuum. So actually, it sort of turns out that automatically, if you build a tunnel that is good enough to resist the water table, it is automatically capable of holding vacuum.
Huh.
So yeah.
And so you could actually picture this, like what kind of length tunnel is in Elon's future to running Hyperloop?
Yeah, I think there's no real length limit. You could dig as much as you want. I think if you were to do something like a DC to New York Hyperloop, I think you'd probably want to go underground the entire way because it's a high density area. You're going under a lot of buildings and houses, and if you go deep enough, you cannot detect the tunnel. Sometimes people think, well, it's going to be pretty annoying to have a tunnel dug under my house. But if that tunnel is dug more than about 3 or 4 tunnel diameters beneath your house, you will not be able to detect it being dug at all. In fact, like if you're able to detect the tunnel being dug, whatever device you're using, you can get a lot of money for that device from the Israeli military, who's trying to detect tunnels from Hamas, and from the U.S. Customs Border Patrol that's trying to detect drug tunnels. So, the reality is that Earth is incredibly good at absorbing vibrations, and once the tunnel depth is below a certain level, it is undetectable. Maybe if you have a very sensitive seismic instrument, you might be able to detect it.
So you've started a new company to do this called The Boring Company. Very nice, very funny. But
What's funny about that?
how much of your time is this?
It's maybe 2 or 3%.
You've called it a hobby. This is what an Elon Musk hobby looks like.
I mean, it really is. Like, we actually, this is basically interns and people doing it part-time. So this is, we bought, some secondhand machinery, and it's kind of puttering along, but it's making good progress.
So an even bigger part of your time is being spent on electrifying cars and transport through Tesla. Is one of the motivations for the tunneling project the realization that actually, in a world where cars are electric and where they're self-driving, there may end up being more cars on the roads on any given hour than there are now?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people think that when you make cars autonomous, that they'll be able to go faster and that will alleviate congestion. And to some degree, that will be true. But once you have shared autonomy where it's much cheaper to go by car and you can go point to point, the affordability of going in a car will be better than that of a bus. Like, it will cost less than a bus ticket. So the amount of driving that will occur will be much greater with shared autonomy, and actually traffic will get far worse.
I mean, you started Tesla with the goal of persuading the world that electrification was the future of cars.
Yes.
And a few years ago, people were laughing at you. Now, not so much. I mean,
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe but isn't it true that pretty much every auto manufacturer has announced serious electrification plans for the short to medium term future?
Yeah. I think almost every automaker has some electric vehicle program. They vary in seriousness. Some are very serious about transitioning entirely to electric, and some are just dabbling in it. And some, amazingly, are still pursuing fuel cells, but I think that won't last much longer.
But isn't there a sense, though, Elon, where you could now just declare victory and say, we did it, let the world electrify, and you go on and focus on other stuff?
Yeah. Well, I intend to stay with Tesla as far into the future as I can imagine. And there are a lot of exciting things that we have coming. We've got, obviously, the Model 3 that's coming soon. We'll be unveiling the Tesla semi-truck. And maybe
well, we're going to comment to this. So Model 3. So it's supposed to be coming in July-ish.
Yeah, it's looking quite good for starting production in July. Yeah.
Wow. One of the things that people are so excited about is the fact that it's got autopilot, and you put out this video a while back showing what that technology looked like or would look like.
Yeah.
There's obviously autopilot in Model S right now.
Yeah.
What are we seeing here?
Yeah. So this is using only cameras and a GPS. So there's no LiDAR or radar being used here. This is just using passive optical, which is essentially what a person uses. The whole road system is meant to be navigated with passive optical or cameras. And so once you solve cameras or vision, then autonomy is solved. If you don't solve vision, it's not solved. So that's why our focus is so heavily on having a vision neural net that's very effective for road conditions.
Right. Many other people are going the LiDAR route. You want cameras plus radar is most of it.
You can absolutely be superhuman with just cameras. Like you could probably do 10 times better than humans with just cameras.
So the new cars being sold right now have like eight cameras in them. That they can't yet do what that shows. When will they be able to?
I think we're still on track for being able to go across the country from LA to New York by the end of the year, fully autonomous.
Yes, so a car, by the end of the year, you're saying someone's going to sit in a Tesla without touching the steering wheel, tap in New York, off it goes.
Yeah.
Won't have to ever touch the wheel by the end of 2017.
Yeah. Essentially, November or December this year, we should be able to go from all the way from a parking lot in California to a parking lot in New York. No controls touched at any point during the entire journey.
Amazing. Part of that's possible because you've already got a fleet of Teslas driving all these roads. You're accumulating a huge amount of data of that national road system.
Yes. The thing that will be interesting is that I'm actually fairly confident it will be able to do that route even if you change the route dynamically. And so I think it's fairly easy if you say I'm going to be really good at one specific route, that's one thing, but it should be able to go really be very good. Certainly once you enter a highway, to go anywhere on the highway system in a given country. So it's not sort of limited to LA, New York. We could change it and make it Seattle, Florida. That day, well, in real time. So you were going from LA to New York, now go from LA to Toronto.
So leaving aside regulation for a second, in terms of the technology alone, the time when someone will be able to buy one of your cars and literally just take their hands off the wheel and go to sleep and wake up and find that they've arrived, how far away is that to do that?
I think that's about 2 years. The real trick of it is not, how do you make it work, say 99.9 perhaps. The car is unlikely to crash in 100 lifetimes or 1,000 lifetimes. Then people are like, okay, wow, if I would live 1,000 lives, I would still most likely never experience a crash, then that's probably okay.
Maybe, I guess the big concern of yours is that people may actually get seduced too early to think that this is safe, and that you'll have some horrible incident happen that puts things back.
Well, I think that the autonomy system is likely to at least mitigate the crash, except in rare circumstances. The thing to appreciate about vehicle safety is this is probabilistic. So that there's some chance that any time the human driver gets in the car that they will have an accident. That is their fault. It's never zero. And so the key threshold for autonomy is how much better does autonomy need to be than a person before you can rely on it.
But once you get that literally safe hands-off driving, the power to disrupt the whole industry seems massive, because at that point, buy a car, drops you off at work, and then you let it go and provide a sort of Uber-like service to other people, earn you money, maybe even cover the cost of your lease of that car.
Exactly.
So you can kind of get a car for free. Is that really likely?
Yeah, absolutely. This is what will happen. So there will be a shared autonomy fleet where you buy your car and you can choose to use that car exclusively. You could choose to have it be used only by friends and family, only by 5-star other drivers who are rated 5-star. You can choose to share it sometimes, but not other times. That's 100% what will occur. It's just a question of when.
Wow. So you mentioned the Semi, and I think you're planning to announce this in September, but I'm curious whether there's anything you could show us today.
I will show you a teaser shot of the truck. Shot. It's live.
Okay.
No, that's definitely a case where we want to be cautious about the autonomy features.
Because that just, we can't see that much of it, but it doesn't look like just a little friendly neighborhood truck. It looks kind of badass. What sort of Semi is this?
So this is a heavy-duty, long-range semi-truck. So it's like the highest weight capability and with long range. So essentially, it's meant to alleviate the heavy-duty trucking loads. And this is something which people do not today think is possible. To think the truck doesn't have enough power or it doesn't have enough range. And then with the Tesla Semi, we want to show that an electric truck actually can out-torque any diesel semi. And if you had a tug-of-war competition, like the Tesla Semi will tug the diesel semi uphill.
That's pretty good. And short term, these aren't driverless. These are going to be trucks that truck drivers want to drive.
Yes. So what will be really fun about this is you have a flat torque RPM curve with an electric motor, whereas with a diesel motor or any kind of internal combustion engine car, you've got torque RPM curve that looks like a hill. So this will be a very spry truck. You drive this around like a sports car. There's no gears. It's like a single speed. So
there's a great movie to be made here somewhere. I don't know what it is, and I don't know that it ends well, but it's a great movie.
I mean, it's quite bizarre test driving when I was driving the test prototype for this truck. It's really weird because you're driving around and you're so nimble, and you're in this giant truck.
Wait, you've already driven a prototype?
I drove it around the parking lot. I was like, this is crazy.
Wow. It's not vaporware. It's like wow.
Driving this giant truck and sort of making these mad maneuvers.
This is cool. Okay, from a really badass picture to a kind of less badass picture. This is just a cute house from Desperate Housewives or something. What on earth is going on here?
Well, this illustrates the picture of the future that I think is how things will evolve. You've got an electric car in the driveway. If you look in between the electric car and the house, there are actually 3 power walls stacked up against the side of the house, and then that house roof is a solar roof. So that's an actual solar glass roof.
Okay, so that's
a picture of a real. Admittedly, it's a real fake house. That's a real fake house.
So these roof tiles, some of them have in them basically solar power, the ability to.
Yeah. So the solar glass tiles where you can adjust the texture and the color at a very fine-grained level, and then there's sort of micro louvers in the glass, such that when you're looking at the roof from street level or close to street level, all the tiles look the same whether there is a solar panel behind it or a solar cell behind it or not. So you have an even color from the ground level. If you were to look at it from a helicopter, you would actually be able to look through and see that some of the glass tiles have a solar cell behind them and some do not.
Right. You put them in the ones that are likely to see a lot of sun.
Yes.
And that makes these roofs super affordable, right? They're not that much more expensive than not just tiling the roof.
Yeah. We're very confident that the cost of the roof plus the cost of electricity, that a solar glass roof will be less than the cost of a normal roof plus the cost of electricity. So in other words, this will be economically a no-brainer. It will look great, and it will last. I mean, we thought about like having the warranty be infinity, but then people thought, well, that might sound like we were just talking rubbish. But actually, this is toughened glass. Like well after the house has collapsed, and there's nothing there, the roof will the glass tiles will still be there.
Okay, so I think you're rolling. So you're rolling this out in a couple weeks' time, I think, with four different roofing types.
Yeah, we're starting off with two initially, and then the second 2 will be introduced early next year.
And what's the scale of ambition here? How many houses do you believe could end up having this type of roofing?
I mean, I think eventually almost all houses will have a solar roof. Now the thing is to consider the timescale here to be probably on the order of 40 or 50 years. So on average, a roof is replaced every 20 to 25 years. So, but you don't start replacing all roofs immediately. But eventually, if you say were to fast forward to say 15 years from now, it will be unusual to have a roof that does not have solar.
Is there a mental model thing that people don't get here that this it's been because of the shift in the cost of economics of solar power that like most houses actually have enough sunlight on their roof pretty much to power all of their needs. If you could capture the power, it could pretty much power all their needs, right? You could go off grid kind of.
Yeah, it depends on where you are and what the house size is relative to the roof area. But yeah, it's a fair statement to say that most houses in the U.S. have enough roof area to power all the needs of the house.
Okay, so the key to the economics of cars, the semi of these houses is the falling price of lithium-ion batteries, which you've made a huge bet on as Tesla. In many ways, that's almost the core competency, and you've decided to really own that competency. You just have to build the world's largest manufacturing plant, kind of double the world's supply of lithium-ion batteries.
Yeah.
With this guy, what is this?
Yeah, so that's the Gigafactory. Progress so far in the Gigafactory. Eventually, you can sort of roughly see that there's sort of a diamond shape overall, and when it's fully done, it'll look like a giant diamond, or that's the idea behind it. It's aligned on true north. There's a small detail.
And capable of producing like 100, eventually like 100 gigawatt hours of batteries a year.
100 gigawatt hours. We think probably more, but yeah.
And they're actually being produced right now already here, right?
Yeah, we're in production already.
You guys put out this video.
Yeah.
I mean, does that speed it up, or
that's the slowed down version.
Is that how fast does it actually go?
Well, when it's running at full speed, you can't actually see the cells without a strobe light. It's just blur.
And one of your core ideas, about what makes an exciting future is a future where we no longer feel guilty about energy. Help us picture this. I mean, how many gigafactories, if you like, does it take to get us there?
It's about 100, roughly. It's not 10, it's not 1,000. Most likely 100.
See, I kind of find this amazing. Like, you can actually picture. If that's right, you can picture what it would take to move the world off the past. It's like what the fuck? Cost $5 billion, maybe the next one.
Iring, pok jam, motherfucker.
It's kind of cool that you can picture that project. You're planning to do a Tesla, or at least announce another two this year.
I think we'll announce locations for somewhere between 2 and 4 gigafactories later this year. Probably 4.
Whoa. Okay. I can't tease. No more teasing from you for here. Like where, continent. You can say no.
We need to address a global market.
Yeah. Okay. This is cool. I think we should talk for global market. So I have to ask you one question. I'm going to ask you one question about politics. Only one. I'm kind of sick of politics, but I do need to ask you this. You're on a body now giving advice to a guy who has said he doesn't really believe in climate change, and there's a lot of people out there who kind of think you shouldn't be doing that. They'd like you to walk away from that. What would you say to them?
Well, I think that there's... first of all, I'm just on 2 advisory councils where the format consists of going around the room and asking people's opinion on things. And so there's like a meeting every month or 2. That's the sum total of my contribution. But I think to the degree that there are people in the room who are arguing in favor of doing something about climate change, or other certain social issues. I've used the meetings I've had thus far to argue in favor of immigration and in favor of climate change. And if if I hadn't done that, that wasn't on the agenda before. So maybe nothing will happen, but at least the words were said.
Okay.
Punten.
What's up?
So
What's up, guys?
let's talk SpaceX Mars. Last time you were here,
Mantap, dapat tungrat, bos.
what seemed like a kind of incredibly
Di Akman GG, bos.
rockets that are actually
Akhirnya.
reusable. You've only gone and done it.
Yeah.
I mean, talk us through this. What
took a
are
long
we
time.
looking at here?
Put up ko udah.
Yeah, so
Kenapa?
this is one of our rocket boosters coming back from
Udah mulai apa?
very high and fast
mau
space.
level
So just
up.
Oh,
above
level
the,
up.
the upper stage
Berapa persen lagi?
at high velocity. I think this may have been
Masih lama goblok.
7 or so delivery of the upper
No.
stage.
Positive thinking,
Yeah.
bro.
So that was a sped up.
That's the slowed down version.
Masih lama, nggak usah positif lah.
That was a sped up. But I mean, that's amazing. And several of these failed before you finally figured out how to get to do it. But now you've done this what 5 or 6 times?
I think we're at 8 or 9. I think.
Yeah. And for the first time, you've actually reflown one of the rockets that landed. So
we landed the rocket booster, and then prepped to fly it again or to do it again. So it's the first reflight of
Gua lihat orang di
orbital
YouTube
booster
Akman pakai
where
LAN.
that reflight is relevant. So just wanted to appreciate
230 apa kuat di situ?
if it is rapid.
261, yang 230 biasanya katanya dia kurang
So
lebih struggling
like an
daripada
aircraft
yang
or
gitu.
car,
Oh,
Ya,
iyalah.
emang lebih struggling. Tapi yang 260 HP itu dia
you
dapat
do not send your
8.900 stress per
Boeing
jam.
in between flights.
Mantap.
So this
Lu
is
berapa
the dream of this
Gua nggak tahu.
really ambitious
Gua nggak
idea
ngerti.
of sending
Ini belum
like,
1 jam,
many,
baru
many
15 menit.
people to Mars
Yeah.
in what, 10 or 20 years time, I guess.
15
Yeah.
menit
In the
gue udah
next
dapat
20
2.000.
And you've designed this outrageous rocket to do it. Help us understand the scale of this thing.
Well,
Tapi pakai LS ya?
Dia pakai LS kok, rasanya.
Oh,
Dia pakai deh
Yeah,
dia.
that's the vehicle.
nggak tahu deh.
So if that was a skyscraper, that's like a 40, did I read that? 40 stories?
Yeah, maybe a little more. Yeah. The thrust level of this is really this configuration is about 4 times the thrust of the Saturn V moon rocket.
4 times the thrust of the biggest rocket humanity ever created before.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean,
As one does.
yeah. I mean, in units of 747, like a 747 is only about a quarter million pounds of thrust. So so there are for every 10 million pounds of thrust, there's 47.
Gua
So
masih
this would
bingung
be
sama combo yang
the
dia
thrust
pakai.
equivalent of 120
Apa ya dia
747s with all
Yang bisa
engines
nendang
blazing.
habis itu
And so
meledak.
even with a machine designed to escape Earth's gravity, I think you told me last this thing could actually take a fully loaded 747 people, cargo,
Dia pakai beberapa
everything.
skill pre-awakening kali.
Into-
Lu
into-
pakai nggak?
into-
Kalau pakai awakening doang, kayaknya nggak bisa deh.
Dia full awaken deh kayaknya.
With maximum.
Soalnya
fuel,
kalau lu
maximum
cuman
passengers,
pakai skill awakening di Akman itu
maximum
hampir
cargo on
impossible.
747. This
Kalau lu
can take
pakai
it
Mystic
as
juga harus ada
cargo.
combo ininya juga.
So
Pre-awakeningnya.
based on this,
Guna banget soalnya
presented,
pre-awakeningnya.
recently this interplanetary transport system, which is visualized
Gua
this
masih
way.
bingung
This is
aja.
the scene
Ini
you picture what?
nyari loh
I mean,
sampai
30
yang
times,
mana sih
20
dia pakai
times.
ada satu yang gerakan yang gua nggak
People
tahu anjir.
walking into this rocket.
I'm hopeful it's sort of in the 8 to 10 year time frame. Aspirationally, that's our
Dan
target.
gerakan itu
I
selalu
mean,
dia
internal
lakuin
targets are more
setelah dia
aggressive,
nendang.
but I think
Mungkin buat nambah ini kali, nambah buff.
Okay.
Dan setiap dia
so this
pakai
big
gerakan
vehicle
itu
seems
Black Spirit Race-nya
quite
berkurang.
large and is large by
Nah itu,
comparison with
gua
other
pasti
rockets.
berarti
I mean,
dia pakai Black Spirit Race kan.
the future spacecraft will make this look like a rowboat. I mean, this is the future spaceships will be truly enormous.
Why, Elon? Because why do we need to build a city on Mars with 1 million people on it in your lifetime? Which I think is kind of what you've said you'd love to do.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a future that is inspiring and appealing. I mean, I just think that there have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Like, why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? And if we're not out there, if the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that it's incredibly depressing if that's not the future that we're going to have.
People want to position this as an either-or. That there are so many desperate things happening on the planet now, from climate to poverty to you pick your
TP-nya
issue.
dia aja nggak gede-gede amat, TP-nya dia cuma 300
this feels like a distraction. You shouldn't be thinking about this,
301
you should
itu
be
kan nambah
solving
1%.
what's here and now. And to be fair,
Damage
you
reduction
have a
itu
fair bit to
itu
actually
ngaruh
do
banget
that
di Akman.
with your work on sustainable
290 dari 290 ke 300 itu cuma nambah 1%.
I think there's
Dan 1%-nya itu benar berguna banget.
I look at the future from a standpoint of probability.
Dan dia
It's like a
semua
branching stream
kristalnya
of
full PVE.
probabilities. And there are actions that we can take that affect those probabilities, or that accelerate one thing or slow
Nanti
down
senjatanya
another
pakai
thing.
ini ya, precision ya.
Introduce something new to the probability
Kayaknya
stream.
lifesteal. Yang
Sustainable energy will happen no matter what. If there was no Tesla,
Tungrat lagi anjing.
existed, it would have to happen.
Tungrat lagi. Go to clip that shit. Go to clip that shit.
Unsustainable energy. Eventually, you'll run out, and the laws of economics will drive
Second tungrat
drive
drop.
civilization towards sustainable energy, inevitably.
I need to clip that shit. Holy shit,
Like
second tungrat.
Tesla, it accelerates the advent of sustainable energy faster than it would otherwise occur. So when I think like what is the fundamental good of something like Tesla, I would say hopefully it does. If it accelerated that by a decade, potentially more than a decade, that would be quite a good thing to occur. That's what I consider to be the fundamental aspirational good of Tesla. Then there's becoming a multi-planet species and space-faring civilization. This is not inevitable. It's very important to appreciate this is not inevitable. The sustainable energy future, I think, is largely inevitable, but being space-faring civilization is definitely not inevitable. If you look at the progress in space, in 1969 we were able to send somebody to the moon.
Ore langsung cuan. Cuan.
Low Earth orbit. Then the space shuttle retired, and the United States could take no one to orbit.
Untung nggak ada tulisan
So that's
free
the
di
point. The
depannya.
point is like down to nothing.
Oh,
This is not.
sama aja.
If you are mistaken.
Beda.
Dari portal Akman dapetnya si Kria, gue sehat. Goblok si Kria, Hystria bangsat.
It only improves if a lot of people work very hard to make it better, and actually it will, I think, it by itself degrade.
Guys.
Actually,
Guys,
you look at great civilizations like ancient
SS
Egypt,
to
and they were able to make the pyramids, and they forgot how to do that. And the Romans, they built these incredible aqueducts.
Minta
They
itu
forgot how to
bull
do it.
quest.
ntar gua pindah ke
It always seems, listening to you and looking at the different things you've done, that you've got this unique
Babi.
motivation on everything. I find it so interesting. Which is one is this desire to work for humanity's long-term good. The other is this desire to do something exciting, and it's often it feels like you feel like you need the one to drive the other. With Tesla, you want to have sustainable energy, so you make these super sexy, exciting cars to do it. Solar energy, we need to get there, so we need to make these beautiful
Wah,
roofs.
kayaknya gue lagi
You haven't
good
even
luck
spoken
atau
about
gimana.
your
2 tungrat,
newest
bos.
things. You don't even have time to do that. You want to save humanity from bad AI, and so you're going to create this really cool brain-machine interface to give us all infinite memory and telepathy and so forth. And on Mars, it feels like what you're saying is, yeah, we need to save humanity and have a backup plan, but also we need to inspire humanity, and this is a way to inspire.
nggak bisa ngambilnya gua.
I think the value of beauty and inspiration is very much underrated.
Oh yeah.
But I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be anyone's savior. That is not the. I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad.
Beautiful statement. I think everyone here would agree that it is not none of this is going to happen inevitably. The fact that in your mind you dream this stuff, you dream stuff no one else would dare dream, or no one else would be capable of dreaming at the level of complexity that you do. The fact that you do that, Elon Musk, is a really remarkable thing. Thank you for helping us all to dream a bit bigger.
You'll tell me if it ever starts getting.
Ini activity di research step berapa lama ya?
Hah?
That was really, really
Ini di research
fantastic.
step berapa
That
lama?
was really fantastic.
Activity apa?
Guys,
Mana gua tahu.
thank you.
Gua nggak pernah perhatiin sih.
Backup. 3 jam hunting saja cukup. Hilang kayaknya. Aku masih ada loh. Officer tuh emang ada limitnya, nggak bisa terus ada.
Apa?
Officer tuh emang ada limitnya,
Limit apa?
jumlahnya.
Jumlah apa? Oh ada. Gua nggak tahu berapa. Itu kayak jatuhnya di seal kayak Marquis gitu lah. Gua kurang tahu berapa limitnya. Kalau nggak salah makin gede guild ya makin gede itunya.
Soalnya banyak yang AFK kalau misalnya kayak gini. Oke.
Ntar gua mau daftar officer deh.
No.
Hah?
Oke, bagus kalau gitu.
Soalnya Revendi minta di-kick.
Loh.
Loh.
Pindah gua langsung balik ke guild lama gua.
Ada tayang. Lu kenapa balik lagi? Di-kick. Alasannya gak sengaja.
Kick sama Parit. Di situ ada yang namanya executioner nggak? Executioner.
Di mana? Di Akman.
Di Akman.
Ada lah. Kenapa
yang
emang?
dapet itu Pure Blackstone dari situ.
Oh,
Mah, nambah HP 250 itu.
itu nggak bisa dijual ya?
Habis.
Itu kayak apa sih, buff gitu?
Kayak buff selama setengah jam buat loot war biasanya. Nambah 250 HP.
Oh, mantap juga ya. Baru tahu gue bisa dapet kayak gitu.
Gede banget dia itu. Salah.
Yang tadi lu dapet itu? Itu dapet dari mana? Kaktum?
Kaktum gua yang high. Yang larinya tambah 50% sama
Attack speed?
high jump.
Oh, gue kira itu attack speed.
Larinya kayak yang lu gak di awal game itu lah. Yang
Oh,
larinya
tahu
kenceng
kayak
banget.
setan gitu.
Anjay.
Speed demon. Weh, tungrat lagi anjing. Weh, 3 tungrat. What the fuck? Udah.
You're in such a
Alright. Alright, I'm staying here. I'm staying here, bitch. I am staying here. Mother father. Anjing. Ah! Wah, what the fuck? What's happening, man? I don't understand. I could trade Tungrat in less than an hour. GG. Anjrit! I cannot believe it, man. What the fuck? RNG carried, bitch. GG. It's not even a dream.
nggak tahu cara bersyukur.
Ah, GG banget, bos.
Tampalah kedua.
Hah? Ntar lah. Kumpulin lagi kalau dapat lagi.
Jangan coba kalau dapat lagi bisa tri bahaya.
Katanya deng semua.
Makanya mending dulu. Deng di awal lebih gak masalah sih. Kalau dengnya waktu di duo itu lebih penting.
Gila, hari ini panen. Kayaknya Pearl abis tahu gue lagi butuh duit. Jadi mereka bilang ya udahlah, kasih lu aja lah. RNG carried, boys. RNG carried. GG.
Semoga chat gua dibalas sama orang yang buat videolan itulah dia. Gua penasaran dia mencet apa sih? Terus sekarang gua nggak tahu loh. Itu ada combo hidden kayak yang lu main di itu loh. Yang main Mystic kan gua juga ada combo hiddennya kan, yang bisa ninju tangannya jadi merah itu.
Ya.
itu kan nggak ada di pencetan K itu.
Kayak
Nggak
combo
ada
berserker
kasih
gua
tahu.
kemarin.
Nggak tahu, kan gua kan nggak main berserker.
Nah,
Pokoknya yang nggak ada di pencetan K, link lu nggak dikasih tahu caranya gimana kayak gitu.
oh.
Ini gua belum lockout selama 12 jam nih. Belum ganti server juga nih. Harusnya gua dapet kartu 6 hari ini.
Haha, nggak mungkin.
Lah. Katanya nggak bisa lockout.
Nggak mungkin dapet.
Fuck nih.
Kalau beneran dapet lu mandul.
Dah. Kok kayaknya dua-duanya nggak ada enak anjir. Satunya nggak dapet, kalau dapet mandul. Hah? Sama-sama nggak enak anjir.
Dia enakin lah.
Lalu
Anjing Akman 1 jam 3 tungrat.
belum 1 jam padahal.
Iya. 30 menit. GG bangsat.
30 menit aja paling mentok di crashnya cuma dapet
3 tungrat. Black Magic Crystal Figure.
Aduh, besok lanjut itu.
Apa? Diskusi.
Pertali sama
Gua kira
Yogi
diskusi.
sama Tahlia.
Mereka dinamakan hoki. Aduh, gila. Mantap sekali.
Pencet apa sih?
Apaan?
F kiri. Oh, bukan. F kanan. Bukan juga, Cuk. Apa yang dia pencet anjing? FS. Ini malah balik jadi sukses. Jadi main senjata gitu. Apa cok? Sumpah. Si tahu.
Have produced one ring of Crescent Guardian. Nice.
Mana ya? Di atas kepala gua ada lambangnya Groot. Nomor 5. Ya ampun, gue lupa beli Marni anjir. Astaga, dari tadi lu. Ya elah. Apalah 1 menit. Sana, kitos. Oh shit.
Weki Toshi.
Let's go, brother. Beneran ranking 5 tuh anjay. So gue pengen jadi guild leader aja, biar gue bisa declare orang yang ganggu seperti ini.
Goblok.
Kan kalau di season nggak bisa di TK kalau nggak declare.
Emang.
Gue liat LAN yang lain itu dia di spot yang lingkaran yang ada 4 spot di tiap ujungnya itu. Aman.
Lingkaran.
Ya kotak apa bentuknya kotak terus
Oh,
itunya
itu
ada
gua tahu di mana.
di setiap ujungnya ada itu.
Tahu. Gua nggak suka itu rotasi. Kecuali kalau udah DP lu tinggi, di situ rotasinya bagus. Kalau DP lu rendah kayak gua 290 di situ mati cepet. Ancient. Ya anjing gua kira tungrat lagi tadi. Ancient Power Red Shard bangsat. Gua kira tungrat lagi, cibay.
Ancient apa?
Ancient Power Red Shard.
Teriak lu emang. Emang
Teriak.
apa itu? Ancient Power Shot.
Kalau di Akman yang black yang langka.
Oh, ya ampun. Yang kalau warna merah digabung jadi
Iya, jadi tungrat earring.
yang langka yang merah, Bro.
Ya, yang langka yang merah itu kalau di Sikraya harganya mahal. Ini harganya cuma 6 juta.
Itu yang merah lu dapetnya.
Ini yang merah, red shard. Kalau buat earring paling mahal tuh yang black shard.
Oh, bukan juga balik ya.
Kalau itu di Sikraya beda. Buat itu buat tungrat ring.
Gua ingetnya yang merah yang harganya 70 juta, yang hitam harganya 6 juta.
Ya itu black shard yang ini, yang tungrat ring, bukan tungrat earring. Beda.
Yang ring yang merah harganya 119.
Ini harganya mana tuh? 4 juta deh, 4 juta 900. Dan banyak banget stoknya di market. Ini nggak bakal bisa dijual juga. Nggak ada yang mau beli juga.
Mana sih cewek bam ini? Ya ampun. Nah, gitu dong. Nice. Thank you.
For the last 3 days, we have been celebrating a century of MIT aerospace innovation. We've looked at the lessons learned from the past, the excitement of the present, and speculated about the future. The common thing underlying this incredible 100 years has been the passion of the vision. People like Hans
Sen.
Tucker, Doolittle,
Ah.
Garner, Draper, and Siemens.
Lu mau investasi duitnya cepet dah ini? Sebelum harganya naik nih.
Enggak.
Berat free, Cuk.
Apaan?
Belt, cepetan. Beli sekarang lebihin itu stoknya.
Belt apa?
Free Tungrat, belt Tungrat.
Nggak mau. Nggak mau. Gue bakal menjauh dari goal gue nggak mau.
Padahal itu harganya lagi
Nggak peduli,
curam.
nggak peduli, nggak bakal laku juga.
Kok bisa?
Orang nggak mau ambil Tongrat belt. Pertama, Givin Rahasia jarang ada yang farming. Kedua, Valtara lebih tinggi kalau Ted daripada kenapa?
Ngomong apa lu? Valtara apa?
Valtara lebih tinggi kalau Ted sama Pen dan lebih gampang dipenin. Orang-orang jarang ngahan di Givin Rahasia, harus berlima.
Penny-nya sama nyet.
Ya bedanya cuma di Black Spear Rage doang, makanya mahal di situ
Jangan bilang
doang.
Valtara lebih gampang dipenkan daripada Tungrat ya.
Memang
Tidak valid, tolong.
iya lebih gampang. Cek aja O3O Jingga. Ya. Loh,
Jangan disamakan lah.
kenapa sama, Pak?
Tolong cek itu, Get Book Quest. Dia aja pakai Tungrat. Enggak sih, dia pakai Valtara kan sih. Lebih tepatnya dia pakai Basilisk sih.
Unfortunately, it's a 14-story building, so the 14-story building falls over. It's quite a belly block. And so what we need to do is to be able to ideally boost back to the launch site and land back at the launch site. But before we boost back to the launch site and try to land there, we need to ensure that we can land with precision over and over again. So
Gue 1 jam lagi deh di Akman terus udahan.
Apa?
Gue 1 jam lagi di Akman baru terus udahan.
Udah. Terus enggak
Apa?
hunting lagi.
Oh enggak, maksudnya malam hunting lagi. Gue mau nonton.
that looks very tiny. And the leg span of the rocket is 60. So, and this is going to be positioning itself up
Buku
there
Nupiku.
with
Nggak, gue nonton malu telanjang.
engines that'll keep it.
Belum.
We'll try to keep it in a particular position, but it's tricky with these big rollers and
Kira nonton buku Nupiku.
GPS arrows. So,
Anime kesukaan.
but, so it's constant.
Buku No Steven
It's not
GG.
anchored. It's like out. That's
Stop.
we're gonna try to land on
Oh.
the next flight.
Trap.
If we land on that point, I think we'll be able to get that booster. But I probably maybe not more than a 50% chance or less of landing it on the platform for the first time. But there's a lot of launches that will occur over the next year. So there's at least a dozen launches that will occur over the next 12 months. And I think it's quite likely probably 80-90% likely that one of those flights will be able to land and refly. So I think we're quite close.
Curious to know why you chose to go with a retrocast rocket for landing as opposed to just wings and wheels and land on a runaway like a cat.
Yeah. There's a couple reasons. The long-term ambition of SpaceX is to develop technologies necessary to establish a self-sustaining city on Mars, or city station on Mars. And wings and a runway don't really work if you're going somewhere other than Earth. The moon doesn't have an atmosphere, so wings and wheels are... There's no runways and there's no atmosphere. Not a good choice for the moon. And then on Mars, there are also no runways, and the atmosphere is very thin. And so unless you try to land something at supersonic velocity, it's just not a good choice for Mars either. So you really have to get good at propulsive landing if you want to go someplace other than Earth, which is why you have rockets, because obviously aircraft work quite well on Earth. But even for Earth recovery,
What the fuck, man? Come on, stop CCing me, bitch.
Even if other planets had atmospheres, the penalty for propulsive landing is quite low. You just do this easy calculation of what's the terminal velocity, and then how to fire the engine at what G level to get to zero velocity. And then if you do some interesting things, like if you look at our landing gear, they're essentially like giant body flaps. So the drag, when we deploy the landing gear, the drag massively increases. So we have dual use of landing gear as giant body flaps and as landing gear. And that actually cuts the terminal velocity in half. And therefore the fuel that would propel the vehicle in half. And actually it's quite an efficient method of landing precisely. You can use less mass if you want to do parachutes or water landing. But then reusability is negatively affected.
Ajar di XP ke si Hystria upper level aja. Di XP kenceng sih. Kuat upper level, bukan abyssal.
The next generation vehicles
Gua tadi siang dari situ kok anjing.
Architecture will be
Gara-gara gabut.
Designed for full reusability. I don't expect
Kapal gua tinggal di atas si Hystria lagi.
Reusable upper stage.
Bartali sailboat.
Just because the
Si Hystria tuh di mana sih? Gua lupa.
Di atas roti.
The kerosene based
Terus di bawah laut.
really high enough to do that.
Berarti harus
And a
nyelam.
lot of the missions we do for
Gua beli darum-darum tadi siang.
are geostationary missions. So we're really going very far out. These are high delta velocity missions.
Terus di bawah ada
To try
udara
to get
gitu.
something back.
Ada kayak gerbangnya buat masuk dulu.
But with the next generation of vehicles, which is
Oke, underwater cave.
Iya, underwater cave.
subcooled methane, oxygen,
Ini lebih ke arah underwater field daripada underwater cave.
close to the freezing temperature to increase the density. We can definitely do
Nanti gelap.
coastal reusability.
Enggak,
that system
enggak gelap.
is intended to be
Terang banget kok,
reusable
terang banget.
application system. So not merely lower
Terang banget.
all the way to Mars and back. Full reusability.
Itu kayak taman lah.
And I'm an optimistic person, but
Taman isinya rumput laut sama ancient weapon.
Sakit dah
start
tapi.
to see some
Enggak,
test
geli-geli.
flights in the 5 or 6 year time frame.
Sama Akman?
Sakitan Akman.
But we're
Jauh.
talking about a much bigger vehicle. Yeah, and we're also going to be upgrading to sort of a new generation, a harder engine cycle, which is a full flow staged combustion. So what we have right now is an open cycle.
Terus gua coba ke abyssal ruinnya tadi. Anjing sakit banget
Right
tadi.
now, say, like engines are our
Monsternya lebih cepat kumpulnya daripada yang di atas.
but they will become as strong
280 AP zone.
in the next generation.
Jadi pas lu masuk gerbang, depannya itu langsung monster. Jadi lu nggak bisa diem, langsung kabur.
Berapa? 280?
280 AP.
Itu yang
Dan DP lu minimal 320. Itu di situ paling lancar dropnya.
Sure.
DP minimal berapa?
320.
It's like right now, our weakest point is engines with respect to specific impulse, but not with respect to thrust and weight. We actually have the
Ya
highest.
bisa dibilang sih, lu kalau mau ke situ ya minimal ya pen rata lah.
But our,
At least 2 pen armor lah,
the
sisanya tet
efficiency
kapras.
is about 10% worse than
360, 320 itu udah tet semua, udah 318 itu. Aman.
In terms of our competitiveness,
Kita pakai tet itu.
Rame lagi.
Kita pakai
Pas gua masuk ada 5 orang gitu di situ.
most comes down to our
Kayaknya nggak
pace
party
conversion.
sih.
Our pace conversion is
No
much,
life.
much faster.
Nggak mungkin party anjing.
The
Dan mereka bunuhnya cepet banget. Striker, ninja, Kuno,
factory-driven systems.
sama archer.
rame,
And this is
ngomongnya
generally
rame.
true. If you look at
Rame pakai
innovation from
banget.
large companies from smaller companies.
Makanya bisa
Kayak poli tapi lebih dempet.
Innovative from larger companies. And it has to be that way from a Darwinian standpoint because
Dan satu thresholdnya 18.000.
they didn't try innovating. Otherwise, people just keep buying the product from the big company. But I mean, so then, well, why is SpaceX more innovative? I think it's probably because we've got like this super engineering-driven culture. I mean, we're running kind of the Silicon Valley operating system. It's kind of hard to describe. Like, it's like how do you describe Linux? Like, you know, like Linux is more efficient than some
Kayak
other
gak ada
operating
tempat lain
systems.
ada bro.
to remain nameless.
But like exactly why? Like we really have to get into the weeds.
Kan peringkat gue dislip kan.
But you know you have sort of a fairly flat hierarchy. You promote rapid communication. A best ideas wins culture, as opposed to just, having the seniority of the person decide the solution. Which I mean that should never be the case in engineering. It should always be rational basis. And I also believe that
Blue Whale Tendon tuh buat
the
potion kan. Blue Whale Tendon potion.
in terms
Iya,
of
buat Node War itu.
I'd much rather promote
Damage
someone
reduction
who's
tambah
got
125.
engineering ability than so-called management ability.
Itu yang superior.
And
Iya.
we do hire some MBAs.
Makanannya permaret player.
We it's usually in spite of the MBA, not because of it.
Don Kings.
I think that deserves an applause.
King Berserker.
Don Kings. Yang lu share itu kan?
King
You're really
Berserker.
pushing the concept of reusability as a
Yang di
way
Twitch,
to
yang di
affordability.
Twitch.
But would you
Oh,
agree
Twitch-nya
that
King's
the
Berserker.
only
King
way to
Berserker
justify making a more expensive
Don Kings.
reusable
Oh,
vehicle
enggak,
is if
beda.
you can
King,
guarantee
beda
minimum
orang.
frequency of flight?
Oh beda orang.
Beda orang.
And is the
Don Kings
market-
itu EU.
how are in
Europe.
the,
Yang ini NA.
5 years, 10-year period, who is gonna
Kerjanya nongkrong depan Heidel. Ada orang lewat tabuk.
Well, I mean, it is a chicken and egg sort of situation. I mean, the reason that there's low demand for space
Yang
flight
dia
is because
nge-kill
it's
orang ada kill
expensive.
count-nya itu.
And you know, so somebody at some point somebody has to say, okay, we're going to
Tiap
make
hari.
something that's much more affordable.
Tiap hari.
And then see what
Tapi kan
applications develop.
dari setiap orang yang lewat lemah anjir kadang-kadang ada.
That's what's happening.
Iya, kalau ketemu Guardian biasa dia kabur.
It's like if an aircraft,
Kenapa gue?
Guardian sama Witch. Karena Guardian paling bagus PvP sekarang.
then how many people would fly? I mean, like the flight rate would be really low.
Protectionnya itu ini apa? Terlalu tebel lah Guardian pokoknya.
$250 million, $300 million.
Tapi kalau kayak ninja gitu-gitu wah dibantai anjing.
So nobody's paying.
Oh dia juga kabur dari Warrior Awakening.
Lost into London. And if that were the case, there'd be like a very small number of flights for like scientific and military purposes, and people would say, "Wow, the market for aircraft is so tiny. People really love going by boat. You know, it's nonsense."
Dead God Armor 100 FPS 0,03
If we
bangsat.
have rockets that are reusable,
What the
we
fuck?
could, reduce
Autis.
fully reusable and can get to a decent flight rate. the potential is there to get a full
Antarnya sama kayak kepannya Black Star anjir. Arahnya itu.
which is vital for establishing a self-sustaining civilization on another planet.
Armor terkuat.
Or even on, on the
Standar
moon,
lah ya.
sort of L5
Cara
colony
dapatnya
or
sih nggak terlalu susah.
You really need to
Iya.
get the
Dim
constant-
Tree
you need a
C10
sort of
kalau nggak Retnos C10.
Dua-duanya
I mean,
dan Dim
relative
3.
to
Bukan kalau enggak.
the estimates
Nggak,
of
salah
what
satu
it
doang.
costs to do a Mars
Itu
mission,
dua-duanya terus di
a
plus
Mars
itu
mission
tadi.
work.
Iya kan?
Enggak, itu salah satu doang.
Some of the lower estimates are at the $100 to $200 billion level, for a full
Ya udah
person
gua Dim
mission.
3 C10.
We need
Paling murah bisa
more
dibilang
like
Retnos.
10,000-fold reduction.
Ih,
Yeah.
kenapa gua
Well, I
nggak
mean,
Retnos aja?
so people can afford to
Kan lebih
go.
murah.
Iya.
You see space tourism as
Cuma jarang yang jual di market.
people wanting to just pay to be in orbit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some sort
Emang
of
sekarang udah ada
private
dari
space
Apa?
flight is
Belum ada kan?
going to be
Baru ada Black Star.
some
Baru
amount
Black Star
longer.
Armor. Cuma kan lu nyicil kan kaprasnya anjing.
I don't really know. I mean, really, just
Ya,
we're
pantas
trying to
orang udah
advance
pada-
rocket technology, and I mean,
Kapras
on
nggak
the
pernah.
one hand, if we are even,
Nggak pernah habis.
if we get even slightly towards the overarching goal,
Iya.
Ya lu nyicil kapras dari
Mars
itu
colonization
dong,
level
Kronstone tan
technology,
kepen aja kan
we just get
beres.
slightly there. We
Kenapa?
certainly have a viable business
Kronstone tan kepen
in
sekali
launching
pencet dapat
satellites
kapras
and
itu kan.
servicing the space
Iya,
station
Kronstone-nya
and
mahal
everything,
goblok.
because, like, yeah, I mean,
Gua dulu nggak
If
tahu,
like
dulu gua kapras
5%.
tan kepen tuh gua nggak ekstrak
so it's not
semua.
like this.
Jadi gua nggak ada yang
there's still a
gua
very
ekstrak,
viable
gua
business
nggak ada
doing
ekstrak
stuff
belum
over
keluar.
so,
That is enough.
and even if like the 5% for example, we're like vastly more competitive than the other rocket companies. So we do have a lot of people gang up against us these days.
I understand. Let's talk about Mars. That's what really excites a lot of people in the audience. A lot excites many of us.
Wih, tungrat lagi anjing.
Folks who are being denied access to masks, social
Tungrat
distancing,
4 biji.
lack of
Tungrat.
testing, a lack of PPE. But the people who are also going to be in harm's way were going to be the guards as well.
Geki,
They were going to be the
tungrat 4.
vectors communicating the disease out into the community. So if you can find ways of kind of bringing
Notnya level berapa?
that
Itu ada
relationship.
Nggak ada. Akman nggak ada note sama sekali.
Their budget,
Pure
and just,
RNG,
taking
pure
away their-
RNG.
Kind of their munitions and their
100% affiliate
seat at the budgeting table.
Hah?
or
Nggak ada.
Are you going to have a battle on your hands, right? And we have to think about also as we shrink the budget for police. How do we
Terus lu nyimpan barangnya di mana kalau kayak gitu?
Hah? Kan 0,1 pakai storage aja. Kirim storage udah 1000 barang.
satu.
0,10. 0,1. Aku kan 0,1. Aku kan sama istrinya
Dia harus
sama.
punya banyak mate dong.
Ah iya. Dan mateku cuma 1.
Kirimnya kemana? Valen.
Kenapa?
Kirimnya kemana?
Valen dong. Kota terdekat.
So, welcome Ibram, and thank you so much for joining us.
Cuman yang nggak enak di sini 1. Lu bakal boros potion di sini.
For joining this conversation.
Tapi kalau ada
So,
tenda
a
mah
few weeks
gampang.
ago, on the
Bahkan
same
ada tenda.
day we learned about
Kenapa?
the brutal murder
Bukan ada
of
tenda.
George
Iya.
Floyd, we also learned
Ah,
that
maksudnya kalau lu nggak ada tenda susah
in
di sini.
Central Park, who chose not to leash her dog and was told by a black man nearby that she needed to leash her dog, instead decided to threaten this black male. Instead decided to call the police and claim that her life was being threatened. And of course, when we learned about that through a video, many Americans were outraged. And this woman, Amy Cooper, ended up going on national TV and saying, like countless other Americans have said right after they engaged in a racist act, I am not racist. And I say countless Americans because when you really think about the history of Americans expressing racist ideas, supporting racist policies, you're really talking about a history of people who have claimed they're not racist, because everyone claims that they're not racist, whether we're talking about the Amy Coopers of the world, whether we're talking about Donald Trump, who right after he said that majority black Baltimore is a rat and rodent-infested mess that no human being would want to live in, and he was challenged as being racist. He said, actually, I'm the least racist person anywhere in the world. And so really the heartbeat of racism itself has always been denial. And the sound of that heartbeat has always been, I'm not racist. And so what I'm trying to do with my work is to really get Americans to eliminate the concept of not racist from their vocabulary and realize we're either being racist or anti-racist. We're either expressing ideas that suggest certain racial groups are better or worse than others, superior or inferior than others, either being racist or being anti-racist. We're expressing notions that the racial groups are equal.
Ini LS kedua kan, tungrat 1.
We're either supporting policies that are leading to racial inequities and injustice, like we saw in Louisville where Breonna Taylor was murdered, or we're supporting policies and pushing policies that are leading to justice and equity for all. And so I think we should be very clear about whether we're expressing racist ideas, about whether we're supporting racist policies, and admit when we are. Because to be anti-racist is to admit when we expressed a racist idea. Is to say, you know what? When I was doing that in Central Park, I wasn't being racist. But I'm going to change. I'm going to strive to be anti-racist. And to be racist is to constantly deny the racial inequities that pervade American society, to constantly deny the racist ideas that pervade American lives. And so I want to build a just and equitable society. And the only way we're going to even begin that process is if we admit our racism.
Cara nambahnya cuma lewat riset dong. Dan kumulatif maksimum 10.000 untuk awal-awal. Tadi jadi 20.000 nggak salah maxnya. Paling 15.000 gitu.
Thank you so much for that.
Apa? 10.000 poin buat 10.000 monster. Kayak misalnya gue lawan Akman, satu Akman itu 6 poin.
And you've been speaking a bit to, the ways in which
ya, jadi kayak misalnya ya, lu udah pakai itu minimal ya sekitar 30 menit udah habis tuh. Jadi pakai itu di tempat yang paling profit, kayak misalnya Mirumok, Hystria, crash loot yang mahal. Soalnya itu nggak ngaruh ke drop rare, itu nggak ngaruh ke drop rare, itu cuma ngaruh ke double drop doang. Tadi gue pakai di Akman.
Is denial, and really the heartbeat of anti-racism is confession, is the recognition that to grow up in this society is to literally at some point in our lives probably internalize ideas that are racist, ideas that suggest certain racial groups are better or worse than others. And because we believe in racial hierarchy, because Americans have been systematically taught that black people are more dangerous,
makanya rame banget anjing. Tadi gue nggak dapet spot sama sekali, gila.
Where black people are 40% of the national incarcerated population, that's going to seem normal to people. When we live in a society, in a city like Minneapolis, where black people are 20% of the population, but more than 60% of the people being subjected to police shootings, it's going to seem normal. And so to be anti-racist is to believe that there's nothing wrong or inferior about black people or any other racial group. There's nothing dangerous about black people or any other racial group. And so when we see these racial disparities all around us, we see them as abnormal. And then we start to figure out, okay, what policies are behind so many black people being killed by police? What policies are behind so many Latinx people being disproportionately infected with COVID? How can I be a part of the struggle to upend those policies and replace them with more anti-racist policies?
And so it sounds like you do make that distinction then between not racist and anti-racist. And I guess could you talk a little bit more about that and break that down? What is the difference between the two?
In the most simplest way, a not racist is a racist who is in denial. And an anti-racist is someone who is willing to admit the times in which they're being racist and who is willing to recognize the inequities and the racial problems of our society, and who is willing to challenge those racial inequities by challenging policy. And so I'm saying this because literally slaveholders, slave traders, imagine that their ideas in our terms were not racist. They would say things like black people are the cursed descendants of Ham, and they're cursed forever into enslavement. I'm not racist. This is God's law. They would say things like, based on science, based on ethnology, based on natural history, black people by nature are predisposed to slavery and servility. This is nature's law. I'm not racist. I'm actually doing what nature said I'm supposed to be doing. And so this construct of being not racist and denying one's racism goes all the way back to the origins of this country.
Yeah. And why do you think it has been so hard for some people now to still accept that neutrality is not enough when it comes to racism?
I think because it takes a lot of work to be anti-racist. It takes, you have to be very vulnerable, right? You have to be willing to admit that you were wrong. You have to be willing to admit that if you have more, if you're
buat invite HP potion sih kartu drag paling susah.
You have to admit that
kalau infinite MP potion yang satu lagi itu yang Navan's TP gathering.
Provided you with opportunities that other people did not have. You have to admit those things. And it's very difficult for people to be publicly and even privately self-critical. I think it's also the case of, and I should have probably led with this, how people define racist. And so people tend to define racist as like a fixed category, as an identity.
Semua.
This is essential to who a person is. It is someone becomes a racist. And
makanya gue butuh yang itu daripada yang darah sebenarnya. Tapi kalau bisa dapat dua-duanya. Cuma itu kayak ngarep lah.
A racist with a Ku Klux Klansman or woman. They're like, I'm not in the Ku Klux Klan.
Hey, siapa tuh? Oh, Flynn.
And I've done good things in my life. I've done good things to people of color. And so
kenapa?
Mau acai nggak?
Tuh anjir. Gue lagi loot scroll, lagi double drop 30 menit. Tungguin lah 30 menit. Oh, ya udah nggak usah. Kapan-kapan aja. Kue tiao.
Gak boleh keluar rumah aja kalau masuk rumah gua.
Besok aja lah.
Jakarta udah boleh keluar ya?
Boleh.
Anjir.
Jakarta lagi, boleh lah.
Surabaya juga begundal akhirnya Black Zone kan.
Masih ya Black Zone?
Masih, lebih parah sekarang. Parah banget anjir.
Sama Makassar juga pala batu semua sih.
Infected.
Yang paling aman itu malah Semarang.
Kalimantan, Pak.
Iya, Kalimantan. Temen gua pindah ke Kalimantan.
Di Kalimantan gak ada PSBB.
Iyalah, soalnya ya punya mantan kan.
Wah, ini ada dua ya. Baru ingat gua.
Apa? Suara lo kecil banget.
Gue lagi cas soalnya.
Oh.
Lo lagi streaming.
Apa?
Lo lagi streaming.
Ya, gue lagi streaming. Hampir nge-lag terus mati anjing.
Mati ya hilang XP.
Ah,
Lihat.
nggak, gue takut pecah doang.
Pecah ya buat lagi.
Mata lu kan.
Kan ada 4 umuran.
Ya, sama aja ya logikanya. Anak lu mati ya bikin lagi.
Nah nih.
Oh iya, sama aja kan logikanya. Kalau misalnya kalau anak lu di masa depan mati ya bikin lagi.
Amit-amit bego.
Bandinginnya kayak gitu. Barang pecah bikin lagi. Ya udah, anak bikin lagi kan sama aja.
Beda.
Sama.
Beda, Bambang.
Mana harta karunnya? Berikan, oh itu. Makalot!
Mantap. Mantap.
Boxnya dari Garmot. Bisa gitu ya? Boxnya Garmot. Gua kira boxnya Garmot isinya cuma itu doang.
Mantap. Gua nggak pernah sih ngeliat boxnya Garmot.
Namanya Old Trick Hands box.
Nggak pernah lihat sama sekali. Dia boxnya tuh kayak voucher bukan?
Bukan, boxnya itu warna coklat kayak kotak gitu. Kalau voucher kan kayak harta karun. Ini kayak
Nggak pernah lihat
kotak
gua.
biasa. Kotak yang kayak kotak cincin yang
Tahu.
yang
Oh.
warnanya merah itu loh, kotak cincin
Tahu,
merah,
tahu.
tapi warnanya coklat.
Nggak pernah lihat gua.
Gua kira bakal banyak dislike-nya.
Sama anjing. Gua
Tapi
kira
gua suka komen-komennya itu harus ditiru.
komen-komennya bikin emosi anjing.
Bang, nggak bahas tentang dark web lagi. Paling bawah itu tuh kan.
Aduh, what the fuck.
Bambang. Nick Legend.
Itu paling bawah.
Bambang 1, Bambang 2, Bambang 3. Aduh, gawat.
Itu ya, gue ibu Bambang.
Lu ya, lu sebutnya Bambang.
Ya udah lah yang paling deket Bambang.
Chat paling awal. Dark web.
Game. Apa?
Ada yang komen gitu?
Ada, berarti dia dengerin waktu Vincent live itu. Paling bawah, cek paling bawah chatnya, dibalas gak sama Vincent.
Padahal videonya yang itu udah gua hapus tuh.
Dibalas sama Vincent. Fans beratnya Vincent, masa gak dibalas?
Siapa sih namanya?
Gak tau, pokoknya paling bawah lah intinya. Ujung bawah lah. Lu scroll paling bawah dia yang Vincent itu.
Tempat gue paling bawah.
Terus ada yang ngomong lagi apa? Udah nggak main Shield BOD tapi masih bahas Shield BOD. Peduli AdSense ya? Gue bilang, aduh, lu kok peduli amat sama channel gua? Gue sih biasa aja, tay. Terima kasih banyak deh.
Oh, itu video vlognya kan, bukan yang podcast.
Bukan video yang itu, yang
Bukan yang
Fall of a
podcast.
Great Game.
Gue kira lu lagi ngomongin yang podcast.
Jangan yang podcast, yang Fall
Gue
of a
lagi
Great
ngebahas
Game.
yang podcast.
Itu lebih seru, hei. Podcast itu nggak seru, yang itu yang The Fall of the Great Game tuh comment sectionnya ada best itu.
Gue belum lihat.
Bahagia. You are carrying too much weight. Easy bro, easy.
Apa sih aja dia ngomongin gambar?
Lagi horny malah. Lo lumayan cakep-cakep itu loh. Steven.
Gue lagi
Waduh. Jangan gitulah, gue tau lu suka dia. Gue bukannya belain dia, tapi ya gue tahu lu suka dia, makanya dibahas mulu kan.
Gan, lagi live stream Gan. Gan, lagi stream Gan.
Terus
Salah ngomong Gan. Nanti ada Ninu Gan.
Ninu.
Hina.
Ntar Mawang lewat.
Mawang udah amin. Nanti bawang.
Bambang evolusi. Mawang.
Bukan Vincent.
Jadi mama.
Wah, GG.
Wah.
Diajak ke band.
Gak ada.
Ke band apa? Dia ke hack lu.
Udah itu gua.
Ya.
Jual makalot.
Kok lu jual makalotnya, mas? Sekarang lo pakai apa?
Makalot.
Oh, udah 4.
2.
Oh.
Yang 2 Gervis. Tambah 2 lagi.
Kenapa Gervis?
Hah? Soalnya kalau beda itu, kalau beda batu itunya nambahnya 10. Kalau sama batu cuma nambah 5.
Apaan?
Makalot harganya lebih turun.
Apaan maksud lu? Nambah apaan?
Kalau batunya beda.
Nambah apaan?
Ini makalot ini kan 2 sama 4 kan. Kalau 4 kan nambah HP-nya 5. 2 nambah HP-nya juga 5.
Iya.
Kalau beda, misalnya gua Gervis itu 2 itu 5.
Oh enggak, kan kumulatif goblok.
Enggak akumulatif ada tulisannya. Kalau 4 set 2 set dah.
Nih view set effect. Aduh, ntar.
Ya,
Nih view set effect ya. Gua kan pakai hum 2, all damage reduction plus 5, all damage reduction plus 5, jadi plus 10.
Oh, the 2 crystal and 4 crystal set effect are applied
Iyalah.
separately.
Aduh. Dasar goblok. Gak nanya-nanya dulu sih. Aduh. Sok tahu.
Untung satunya Gervis. Aduh. Makalot. Han. Gervis. Tapi Gervis ada. Enggak deh, makalot aja.
Gervis efeknya apa?
75 weight limit.
Nggak guna.
Critical hit.
Nggak guna, mending lu jadiin Han. Lu jadiin Han tambah weight limit juga.
Sama movement.
Akurasi dan lain-lain.
Enggak, Han enggak ada akurasi. Makalot 2 biji mana?
Gua mau jadiin Han apa? Ini gua Han apa? Boomnya. Tapi gua lagi nyari boss gear dulu.
Gua baru sadar gear separate.
Ayo tungrat 1 lagi dong sebelum 30 menit.
Jangan serakah.
Tungrat 1 lagi, 1 gua jadiin duo, 1 gua jadiin free terus jual.
Serakah.
Gua nggak serakah.
Sekarang.
Iya sekarang.
Udah, clearin itu dulu. Apa namanya? Situlah pokoknya buku itu. Mumpung gue udah lengkap barang-barang. Suruh ngasih Agris.
Agris gampang. Lu udah ada barangnya belum? Bermit 30.
Bermit 30, with 100 sama
Fruit of Enchantment ya? Satu lagi.
Udah. Terus? Arah
Udah,
ke?
itu aja. Arah ke altarnya ini. Altarnya Red Nose.
Iya, altarnya Red Nose. Berarti ada di Velia.
Yoi.
Altar of Agris. Kok jauh altar of Agris? Mari.
Dekat lah. Ntar.
Third class.
20 menit.
Karanda. Sarka. Mantap. Deket Karanda lagi tuh. Altar of Agris kan misalnya. Oh iya, anjir deket banget. Oke.
Ancient Power Red Shark. Ini gue kira tungrat lagi anjing. Black Shard-nya belum dapet. Yo, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate it, man. Alas tinggal 10 menit lagi. Ah udahlah, udahan gua capek nih. Laper. Udah dipanggil makan. Ya sudahlah, yang penting 4 tungrat dalam 2 jam. Pogis, Pokcem, Mother Father. Terima kasih Akman. Membuatku hari ini bahagia sekali. Akuman Temple. Oh, NPC-nya mana anjir? Oh tuh dia. Alright. Moving to Ibilab Oasis. Damn, so good. Jalan ke Valencia dulu. Storage ada berapa ya? tadi? Mana ini Valencia. 12.000. K trash loot 2 jam 2 kali LS 4 tungrat 18 22 24 scroll GG Akman. Aduh. Lemes.
Altarnya yang mana ya?
Altar apa? Yang kiri.
Kiri.
Yang kiri. Yang pertama kali ngomong sama Cliff.
Oke.
Dah, makan dulu. Wah. Gue kira nyasar anjing. Secepatnya aku berlari. Valencia.
Jam berapa itu?
Hah?
5 menit lagi.
Bobo.
Karena
Oh.
It Alustin.
Alustin. Oh ini ya. Oh, hari kedua, hari 20 ya? 21.
Kan.
Oh ini gabungin.
The only thing I've ever done was guard the storage alongside my husband.
Auto kaya. Berapa nih? 12.267 Akpan threshold. Sekarang 30.900.000. Saya anggap 31 lah. Langsung 120 juta. Mantap.
Nani?
Ja. Yuklah kita tempai yuk kedua. Let's go, motherfucker.
Damn.
Ting.
Apakah deng atau tereng?
Bentar, gue lupa tempat blacksmithnya di mana ya? Ah, bukan di sini nih. Di mana
Deng
ya?
or tereng?
Wait, I forgot. Mana ya blacksmithnya? Oh, ya di situ.
Berapa menit lagi, Randa? 4 masih sampai sebisa Alustin dulu. Agristone tablet. Woo!
Free.
Deng.
Beneran anjing, deng. 42 fail stack, nggak apa-apa. Ntar kita farming lagi di sana. Sisa satu. Satunya gue masukin ke Central Market. Dah, gua sekarang nge-time di Akman aja. Nggak usah pilaku lagi.
The sailor, the marketplace director.
Tagihan dia.
Drop scrollnya banyak lagi. Akman
Dikit lagi
Tempul.
bisa Akman nih.
Mantap.
Oke, Karanda masih 1 menit.
Processing Ancient Spirit Dust. Oh, kalau 2 jadi 1B ya ini dari Pri.
Kelar gua buku satunya. Sekarang buku kedua berarti. Lah, masih ada. Lah, buku duanya kok nggak kebuka?
Hah? Buku 2 yang ngomong sama Black Spirit.
Oh, oke. Gua harus pergi ke Karanda dulu. Dalam waktu 1 menit, apakah saya bisa?
Nah, gue coba lagi ke duo, gue beli free yang 300 juta.
Deng!
Deng! Deng!
Udah.
Belum, gue masih ekstra kapras.
Tak apa-apa, Deng itu sudah biasa.
Udah biasa. Gak sakit-sakit hati. Orang 1 jam dapet 3.
Tapi hilang 2.
1 jam dapet 3, bos. Bosku.
Karandanya udah bangun, gua belum siap lagi. Tapi ini season server sih, main lama Karanda, 1 menit lebih lah.
Duo. Jadi bos 1B.
Oke.
1B.
Itu nggak lu nyalain berarti?
Apa?
Notificationnya.
Notification apa?
Notification kalau duo free itu.
Loh, emang nggak keluar di lu?
Keluar, tapi kalau gua duo lu nggak kelihatan berarti.
Gua kelihatan. Kalau gue kelihatan.
Kalau gue tetap muncul.
Gue tetap muncul. Ya gue matiin tuh ya normal. Black Magic Crystal Vigor, Black Magic Crystal Memory. Jual aja lah. Apalagi ya.
Let's go for Karanda, guys. Oh, udah kuning.
Berarti 6 23 6. Kapras lagi.
Kok tiba-tiba gue sekarat?
Central Market mana? Duo tungrat. Dua tungrotri. Taruh di 990 juta saja.
Ya, Karanda Latan Aura.
The sailor, the marketplace director.
Harap dande ya bos.
Sarka. Langsung loncat. Dar. Apakah saya bisa sampai ke Sarka tepat waktu? ...2000 meter season server dengan kuda tier 8 tercepat. Apakah saya akan mendapatkan Sarka ataukah hanya Laten Aura?
Ogis
1000 meter. Coy, Sarkanya gua charge saja lah, gua tabrak lah, cuy. Paling gak dapet lah drop aja.
The only thing I've ever done was guard the storage alongside my husband.
Mirumo. Aztec. Okay.
Transport, Alpinova, Rabon, apalagi Alpinova ini. Udah itu doang. Terus Covelia, apalagi Neverladen Aura, Spirit Stone, Peridot, Spirit Grid.
Sarkanya belum mati loh betul. Apakah sempat?
Shiny Golden Seal Work Supervisor. Itu ntar aja lah. Golden Bell. Oh iya, gue kan tadi bikin dua crescent. Saat dia ketok lagi.
Gak mau Miru dah. Pesen server 1.
Apa? Miru? MMK?
Miru mau, iya betul MMK.
Anjing pecah. Present bodoh amat, tai. Murah.
I believe in destiny. Our meeting must be the result of fate.
Party itu maksimal berapa orang? 5 kan?
Hah?
Keep your items safe.
Party?
There are
Nggak tahu
lots
ya.
of traps in the desert. I would pray
Cende.
for you to avoid the sandstorm.
Oh, beda 1 detik.
Gua bakal main very safety lah biar gua gak mati lah. Akalat gua ada 4 cuy. Detik gua berapa?
If there are
260.
any items that might catch my attention, feel free to show them to me. The sailor, the marketplace director.
Oh Oh iya, oh iya benar-benar shit. Sebelum hari berakhir, gue harus ngerjain Fugarnya dulu yang hari ini. Gue lupa tadi, the fuck.
Maksudnya? Gak paham.
Fugar yang hari ini belum gue kerjain, yang peras susu. Sapi di mana ya?
Sapi di Drikhan, Olvia.
Drikhan bagian mananya?
Di bawahnya Drikhan Farm. Duvenkrum
Bukannya
Farm.
itu yak?
Duvenkrum Farm di bawahnya persis Drikhan. Di bawahnya Duvenkrum persis. Itu isinya semua pertanakan di situ semua.
Oh ya guys. Tinggal pencet R sekali kan?
Habis itu lu lakukan arcade-nya.
Hah? Arcade apaan?
Ya kayak mancing gitulah.
Oh, ada.
Ada, cuma lebih susah.
Oh.
Ya enggak sih, kalau lebih susah. Gampang. Lebih gampang malah. Lebih gampang. Itu gue pertama gagal 10 kali itu. Gak ngerti gue caranya gimana.
Sorry, gue nggak lihat lu pada chat. Tadi chatnya error. DP gue udah 90, AP gue 238. Diamond Room enak, tapi gue harus CC Akmannya baru gue muter. Berapa jam stream hari ini kok? Berapa jam stream? Nggak tahu. Pokoknya lama. No lab, no lab. Para susu kambing. Daily kotak. Langsung buka deh kotaknya. Manos please. Advice of Val seperti biasa. Advice of Val 15. Useless. Milk cow. Jadi di persis di bawah Duvenkrum. Di Duvenkrum Farmland ya maksudnya? Hah?
Iya, iya.
Oyoyoy.
Halo guys, welcome back to Koreanomic bersama orang Korea yang the way. Nah, follow sebelum kita masuk ke bagian makan, mungkin ada di antara follow yang juga pingin makan makanan Korea ataupun lagi pingin masak makanan Korea. Follow jangan lupa cek Tokopedia, soalnya di situ lengkap banget, semua kebutuhannya itu ada semua. Udah gitu, bebas ongkir. Nah, buat follow yang lagi nyari langsung aja cek link yang udah tertera di bawah ini. Oke, Rek, langsung cek.
Sapi mana, Cok?
Ini sebenarnya aku nggak ada rencana
Agak
bikin
bawahan,
video
di bawahnya farm.
MTBG.
Di bagian bawah, pokoknya
Jadi,
di farm bagian bawah.
sebenarnya hari ini tuh hari cheating day, jadi aku makannya
Ada
agak
banyak
bebas.
banget
Terus tadi
sapinya.
aku udah bikin satu vlog. Nah habis itu aku ke rumahnya kakakku, kita main-main. Nah malamnya ini kita mau pesan makan bareng gitu loh. Jadi awalnya aku mau pulang terus mau bikin video MTBG sendiri, cuman karena lagi bareng diajak makan bareng, ya udahlah makan bareng. Cuman
ini banyak.
pokoknya pesannya
Silakan
kebanyakan.
dilakukan gamenya.
Terus
Gue yakin lu
kedua
bakal
aku
gagal
tuh
berapa kali ya dia? Pertama
Ini
kali
apa?
10 kali.
Mas daripada gitu bikin video.
Jadi akhirnya aku sedikit terpaksa
10
membuat
kali.
video MTBG dadakan ini ya.
Sampai gua begitu
jadi
paham.
pokoknya
Yo,
kita kayak
itu
gini,
toh maksudnya,
makanya
ya.
tempatnya sedikit kurang
Gak
mendukung,
sampai
tapi
sih,
polanya
cuma
sempat
6
tumpah
kali
soalnya di sini agak sempit ya, mohon dipahami.
Harus
Nah,
di-balance
pokoknya
gitu.
MTBG aku memang pengen bikin tapi tempat dan waktunya tidak seperti yang tak rencanakan. Jadi di sini ada makanan kayak gini.
Oh
Nah,
gitu.
jadi di sini ada 3 makanan.
Harus di-balance.
Pertama, daging iga. Ini
Gimana,
main
ayo?
tim kayak gini ya. Jadi ini daging iga yang ditim dengan
Mari kita
saus yang
lihat
pedas.
seberapa
Terus ada
IQ
kayak telur puyuh,
Bapak HKR.
ada kayak otak-otak, ada tok juga,
4 kali apa 6
macam-macam
kali
ini
ya?
ya.
Gue 6 kali deh kayaknya. 6 kali gue baru paham.
Dah
Udah
selesai.
gitu kita juga pesen
Anjay.
nasi
Gampang.
kepal ya, nasi yang dikepal gini terus dibentuk bundar-bundar. Di situ ada
Udah,
rumput laut sama
beres.
telurnya gini, telur ikan kecil-kecil, dan juga ada
Sorry, bro,
nasi
IQ gue lebih tinggi dari
mayones.
dokter.
Jadi nasi ada daun wijen sama mayonesnya dikit. Ini agak susah nulisnya tapi ya pokoknya kayak gitu. Jadi sekali lagi mohon maaf ya, ini tempatnya sedikit kurang mendukung tapi aku berusaha sebisa mungkin. Nah jadi langsung kita coba ya. Tentu perlu kita coba dari iganya. Iganya kayak gini ya. Jenuhan ini udah gitu nggak ada AC-nya, jadi panas banget. Matahari langsung nyorot sini. Tapi ini enak banget pedesnya. Kayaknya udah lama nggak makan makanan yang ada bumbunya enak kayak gini. Sama aku. Kayak masih kayak. Mayones rasa lemak itu enak banget tuh.
Bentar,
Pancuk mati gue, Cuk.
Hah? Gua klip video gua 5 menit. Anjing, 5 menit tuh kelamaan, tai. Fuck.
You've got an electric car in the driveway. If you look in between the electric car and the house,
Many houses, do you believe, could end up having this type of roofing?
I mean, I think eventually almost all houses will have a solar roof. It will be unusual to have a roof that does not have solar.
The economics of cars, the semi, of these houses is the falling.
Actually, you can sort of roughly see the detail.
And capable of producing video.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
Itu kostum apa bang? Oh ini tuh campuran. Gue pakai kepalanya Gota Rensa sama Berserker Gavi Regan. Jadi bisa lihat di sini. Gota Rensa itu di bawah. Ini Gavi Regan ya, armornya itu yang ini. Ini armor. Gue cuma beli armornya satu piece. Gota Rensa itu kepalanya yang ini. Terus sisanya itu gua cat warnanya.
Itu catnya permanen kah? Enggak kan? 90 hari kan?
Kayaknya permanen sih Morph Palette sekali lu dye. Setahu gue permanen, nggak tahu.
The sailor, the marketplace
Ada
director.
tulisannya berapa hari?
Maksudnya lu bisa gonta-ganti ya dalam berapa kali itu. Menurut gue sih kayak gitu. Nani? Gara-gara kita menang ini apa? Kita menang kastil, kita nggak bisa notuar ya seminggu. Anjing. Rugi dong tai. Dapatnya Velia lagi.
Ya?
Dapatnya Velia lagi bangsat.
Kalau kita menang kastil kita nggak bisa notuar.
Kita nggak bisa notuar kata si Bami tadi kayak gitu. Tai lah. Gue sih mendingan notuar tai dapat medal. Lah kastil yang dipegang cuma Velia lagi. Velia buat apa tai? Gathering doang. Bangsat.
Wih, cok, ternyata gua kuat cok solo miru.
Ya memang kuat. Cuman ya lu harus hati-hati sama yang gedenya doang.
Harus gerak-gerak kiri kanan tapi.
Iya harus hati-hati sama yang gedenya doang. Soalnya sakit itu. Anjay nyatu kostumnya. Iya, nyatu kostumnya. Efeknya sama kok sebenarnya. Kayak outfit slot equipnya ada 4 part 4 8 part itu kalau lu campur nggak apa-apa.
Yoi, betul sekali.
Kita balik ke Akman Temple. Saya ketagihan. Dan Akuman.
Memiru sampai level 62 lah.
Akuman Temple. Shield Golden Treasure Chest gue dapet 1. Tapi gue belum buka.
Jual aja lah cok, goblok.
5 juta ya. Ya sih, gua nggak bisa berharap yang tengah-tengah tuh Ogre Ring.
Sampah.
Polish Alchemist Stone of
dia.
Destruction. Apa?
Kayak teriak kayak orang dapat hadiah lah, ternyata itu juga
Polish. Polish Alchemist Stone of Destruction itu ini. Ya 5 juta paling. Ah, peler. The fuck, I need Shota Shai. What the fuck? Shota, oh my god. It's not FBF, it's Shota. Holy shit. Ini chat grupnya toxic sekali. Oh my goodness. Mana nih portalnya? Tadi di sebelah sana. Semoga masih ada. Monster nih. Mana? Tadi sebelah sini ada portal anjing. Nyano ketutup lagi. Cibai. Three ultimate Grunil cake double you. Portalnya mana, bos? Masa gua harus jalan di desert kayak anak hilang lagi anjing, bajingan. Ayo, blade. Suka blade, ini nahui blade.
Wah, Cok, ini bahaya banget, Cok. Tewas gue Cok lagi.
Miromok sendirian, goblok kan. Kira apel 260.
Bertiga ini sebetulnya.
Oh.
Ya bertiga ini.
Oh my god. Mana, bos? Aku butuh portal. Oh iya, advance cooking utensil gue udah jadi harusnya. Belum anjing, what the fuck, lama banget. Hah? 40 menit. 40 menit lagi. Lah emang berapa jam tai? Gue kira udah jadi anjing. Oh, 2 jam anjing, 120 menit. Oh, gue belum 2 jam. What the fuck, lama amat dah. Loh, itu apaan? Itu villa. Oh, ada kota di sini. Whatever, I don't know. I need portal. Portalnya di mana? Portal.
Gila, Cok, Mirumoknya XP-nya kenceng banget anjir.
Memang. Lu pakai 5-30%, tambah Black Spirit, tambah
Tambah
apa?
600 gue anjir.
Tambah Merindora, tambah 600, tambah 200 Blessed.
Hampir mati gue.
Free soup mutan Batwing, goblok. Wuhan dong anjing, tolol. No, COVID-20. Aduh. Cok lah. Mana iki? Bajingan. COVID-19. Lan favorite food just because Lan is Chinese. Oh, Poggies. Fucking chat group toxic as fuck.
Lantic did nothing wrong.
Lan carries COVID-19. Lancau.
Lentite did nothing wrong.
Guardian Tide, it's the best Tide. Lan eat bats, thus she can fly. Oh my god. The fuck, bro? What's with that logic? So Corona makes you fly. Fly to heaven. Hello adventurers. Cok, portalnya mana anjing? Bajingan. Bosku mana bosku? Akman portal bajingan. Bangsat, gue udah jadi kadal gurun ini tai.
All potion has been used. Fuck. Portal mana portal? GG. Oh, nama orang. Kecepet gue. Kecepet.
Apaan?
Kecepet.
Kejepit. Titit lo kejepit. GG.
Hampir.
Apakah gue disuruh stay away dari Akman gara-gara gue dapat 4 tungrat dalam 2 jam? Jika saya masuk portal masuknya Hystria, saya bakal do life skill. Bakal mengerjakan life skill. Life skill.
Mati coba lagi. Oh, nggak ada yang pecah tadi.
Pecah juga, lu punya kristal murah-murah.
Lalu.
Paling mahal paling hum. Makalot.
Iya, makalot paling mahal gua.
Gue paling.
Sama itu. Red
Apa?
Fang gua ada 2.
Oh, gue paling mahal corrupt magic crystal yang di sub weapon, satunya 200 juta. Critical hit damage tambah 10%, all AP tambah 2, all damage reduction minus 2. Dan gue ada 2 biji, total 400 juta. And high chance of breaking kalau gue mati. High chance.
RP voucher. Where is it? Tell me.
Cok, mana portal anjing? Gimana? Oh, saya belum melihat Mikazuki.
Belum, dia orang malam. Shit. Foraro tuh waktu muncul dari bawah tuh sakit banget anjir.
Memang sakit, jangan di bawahnya, makanya.
Itu jir yang sering bikin gua mati. Aduh. Kadang keluarnya kenceng soalnya, kadang lambat, kadang langsung keluar anjir. Baru ada merahnya. No. Macam apa itu DUG? Oh.
DUG? Pogis? Ya elah, gue nyari portal malah ketemunya Sandstorm, cibai.
Gue kemarin ke itu kan, ke desert kan.
Oh.
Terus ketemu ada orang yang lambangnya kayak bos. Coba nggak tahu itu apa.
Lambangnya kayak bos.
Jadi orang kayak ya orang gitu, cuma lambangnya lambang bos. Jadi yang bintang-bintang itu.
Orang Asian player apa gimana?
Bukan.
Oh.
Kayak monster kayak gas gitu.
Tahu. Cuma drop ancient spirit itu sama kapras doang. Kecuali kalau yang malam itu lighten.
Itu bisa dibunuh.
Bisa, kenapa enggak?
Oh, gue kira itu bukan itu, Cok. Jadi gue tinggal anjir.
Itu nggak drop yang bagus lah pokoknya. Kalau yang siang ya. Kalau yang siang dropnya ya apa kayak orang kepala banteng gitu. Tapi kalau malam itu apa keluarnya lighten, jalan-jalan di gurun pasir.
Wah.
Ada chance drop lighten power stone. Sumpah, cok gue udah muter ya. Gue udah muter anjing, gak nemu sama sekali bangsat. Masa gue harus pindah server? Tai, males banget.
You obtain destruction spirit stone. Oh, nice. Gak di itu sama dia, gak di special deal anjir. Ya udah biarin aja lah. Bodoh amat. Gak penting-penting amat.
Ah udahlah, lelah gue nih. Gak nemu portal, gue ngerjain life skill ya. Di Navarnes TP. Gak mau, gak guna anjing.
Hah?
Gak guna.
Baru lu orang yang
ntar joki aja tai.
Bartali gak guna itu cuma lu.
Ntar suruh orang joki ya. Gampang lah. Males banget gue ngerjain.
Fuck. Mati anjir gua. Ini bapak yang besar ini tolong kalau jadi orang jangan galak-galak.
Yang gede itu nggak bisa dicece lah gitu, paling anjing.
Dia mukulnya kayak orang sange lagi. Duar.
Iya nggak guna, cuma nambah AP 3.
5.
4.
5.
Bentar, 1 2 4 doang.
DP-nya
2.
Akurasi, Eva, HP.
Akurasi 9, Eva 8, inventory 4, weight limit 28. Nah, stamina 65, health point 90. Ah, males. Fail stack 102. Ya udah ntar aja lah ini. Gue suruh orang joki ya. Males gue ngerjain. Paling gue bayar 600.000 kelar.
Kayaknya lu lagi nganggur.
Iya gue nganggur sih.
Oh iya. Mati. Cak. Absorption bro.
Apa bener nggak ada portal ya? Anjing, what the fuck? Udah, kalau gitu gue jalan lurus aja. Oh, kan males anjing. Bartali itu paling males, tai. Nah, ya nambah AP itu aja, hand over the desert tyrant mains. Kill Nuver to collect 3 desert tyrant main.
Iya, gue udah punya itu 3.
Terus apa
Lu
lagi
siap
ya?
bunuh Nuver selalu dapet lu itu. Gue udah kumpulin 3.
Gue malas kalau suruh bunuh world boss. Jalannya males. Ancient creature fragment kutum 2 biji.
Udah, 2 gua. Gua udah siapin semua anjir barangnya.
Defeat Queen. Defeat Queen, terus obtain a pre-Kalis necklace and hand it to Falks.
Udah.
Breed a horse.
Belum. Ya itu sekarang gue lagi di situ.
Gift Manos Ruby. Gue kira beneran Manos anjing.
Itu gue udah punya barangnya semua.
Manos Ruby
tinggal.
murah. Ride a wagon with 4 wheels by yourself.
Oi, hampir mati. Oi. Emang kenceng sih Mirumok ini, nggak masuk akal sih XP-nya. Damage-nya juga nggak masuk akalnya.
Make a potato crate. Gimana caranya?
Make apa?
Kotak potato.
Oh, itu ada.
Kan nggak bisa kalau lu ngareng satu di itu. Rumah lu ngareng satu di kota.
Bisa.
Potato crate anjing.
Nanti ada tutorialnya, tinggal dibaca, beres.
You cannot use a monopoly note without a first rank house.
RB voucher.
Oh anjing, gue kira kompas piece anjing. Ternyata kompas piece yang 3 hari. Aduh, gue kira yang ini, yang drop dari monster eksklusif CTG.
Enak ya, di Mirumok ini ada vouchernya banyak anjir. Oh no. Makalotku. Oh enggak. Oh shit, iya makalotku.
Nice. You deserve it. Pogis.
Mati lagi gua.
Pogis.
Aduh, gua harus beli lagi. Makalot.
Beli yang home. Beli yang ini, yang Han.
Apa yang harus gue lepas? Aduh. Gue pindah aja lah makalotnya, mumpung lagi pecah, gue taruh di bajunya kan nanti mau taruh red fang.
Time to go to Navan step. Kuda gue di mana ya? Oh, di situ. Navan step. Kita cari Infinite Potion Piece.
Hah? Cari apa lu?
Infinite Potion Piece.
Hah? Cari apa lu?
Infinite Potion Piece. Ngantuk.
Kalau udah tinggal Ferrara yang kecil-kecil ini, anjir duitnya. Waktu yang Ferrara yang waktu masih gede-gede itu cok yang bahaya nih.
DV Encyclopedia. Dapatnya apa nih? Udah kasih Desert Fox. Tambah 1 AP. Tambah 1 AP. Book 5. Book 5 nya suruh ngapain? Collect items related to ogres. Ogre ring, ogre blood, ogre excrement, soiled ogre. Nah, soiled ogre ring tuh yang sulit tuh. Margahan, Dorin Morgrim, Secret Journal. Dorin Morgrim, Secret Journal. Dikasih apa aja ini total? Give a duo boss weapon to Dorin Morgrim. Plus 1 AP. Plus 1 AP.
Give a duo boss.
Oh iya. Give a duo boss weapon. Kalau Luffy dia cuma ngasih apa ya?
Oh itu, Vestak.
Advice of Fuck plus 300.
Hah, mana ada?
Ada.
Auto Black Star Pen dong.
Give file stack of 300. Tapi lo harus ngerjain 30.000 quest. 30.000 quest. Anjing, 30.000 quest. Emang ada. Bangsa 30.000 quest, say. Fucking niat, goblok.
Berapa ID yang
ya lo harus bikin banyak karakter, anjing. I'm sleepy. Sejam lagi tidur lah. Terus ntar subuh ke Arsya, Akman. Oh, gue tahu kenapa nggak ada portal. Gue di media 1 anjing. Fuck, lagi pada not war. Baru inget gue anjing. Pantes nggak ada portal, goblok. Ah, shit. Emang kepala gue udah nggak fokusnya, harus tidur.
Baru jam segini?
Jam tidur gue udah bener soalnya.
Aisyah.
Verika Verina, Skinning, Valtara Clairvoyance.
Gua bayangin orang yang pertama kali dapat cuma dari baca clue doang gitu loh.
Apa?
Kan kita kan pertama kan nggak tahu dropnya dari mana.
Drop apaan?
Kan kita cuma tahu clue-nya doang.
Oh iya.
belum dapat knowledge-nya Old Miromo.
Oh.